It has burned me and I felt so alone. And to feel like I still belong in this space as a mom, because I felt so discredited, so worthless for choosing to be a mom. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. I feel like today's video is going to be a bit of a doozy just because I'm talking about a lot of things that I have not talked about yet, especially when it comes to motherhood, in social media, in fitness. Like, I just feel like I needed to have this conversation to move forward in my life, which might sound a little bit crazy, but hear me out. I am going to just start from the beginning and just talk. I've shared a little bit about this on my podcast before, Fun and Gains, and it all starts when I first announced that I was pregnant. Rewind to Darian and I, right? We wanted to have a baby, so we started trying. I think we started trying in like October, and we ended up getting pregnant in February. I ended up announcing, I think, right around Mother's Day, so in May, I believe, I publicly announced that I was pregnant. At this time, I had probably like 220,000 followers on Instagram. My Instagram had just popped off. Since we moved to Arizona, I think we moved in like September of 2018, and then from April of 2019, I grew literally 200,000 followers. It was insane. It was really cool, like something really cool to experience. But with that, I now had people looking at me. So Darian and I's decision still was the same. We wanted to start our own family, and so I did. When I publicly shared that, this is like the piece that suffocated me for so long. I got so much backlash, and I know I should not have taken all of this too hard. I don't know why I allowed it to define me so much and to hurt me so much. Like, I am so upset and angry that I gave someone else that power and control over me. So I got so many messages. Oh, another one bites the dust, another influencer irrelevant, you're wasting your life away, you're wasting your career, or just wait, like now you can't go back. Like, there were really nasty comments. A lot of them were, we know this was a mistake, why don't you own up to it? Mistake child, like who would want to get rid of their body? Like, really weird, just nasty things when Darian and I wanted to get pregnant. And also, like, that's rude. Like, if we had been trying with infertility treatments and we were pregnant and I got those kind of messages, like, I'd be like, people, do you not understand what I had just gone through to get this? Like, this is not a mistake. So there were just so many comments that got really in my head. And this was like the first time I experienced negativity and hate on social media. And for me, I was like, what is going on? There was a lot of like positivity and some excitement, but a lot of it was negative, and I could not like let go of that. So I got that big knock. I kept doing what I was doing. I kept posting. I loved it. It was fun to share my pregnancy with everyone. Like, there was a lot of excitement, joy. We were so excited to have Vinny, but I was able to get back up from that. And I don't know, when you're so excited about something and a lot of people are raining on your parade and sending you a lot of hate for something that used to be like a community where it was really nice and fun, and then all of a sudden you're getting like bogged down by just mean people, like, it really does affect your mental health. And 100%, like, my mental health was at its lowest point. At the same time, like, I heard really bad news from a brand, like I wasn't working with this brand that I wanted to anymore. It was a really tough time for me, and I had to do a lot of soul searching and, do I give up? Do I quit? What do I do? And I kept going, I kept showing up, I was doing the best that I could, and I'm really proud of myself now that like I kept going and did not just quit at that point in time. There are so many times I could have quit. I cannot even begin to tell you, like, it is so important to keep showing up. I firmly believe in that. So then I ended up having Vinny. It was amazing, so fun. Postpartum is a journey. Had some postpartum depression. Lots of weird things are going on with your body, and there's a lot to shift when it comes to motherhood, right? Like, our whole dynamic in our family was changed. Figuring out a schedule with Vinny, feeding him, what's right, what's wrong, what should we do, how do we want to raise him? There's a lot going on at this time. And so there was a lot of new learning experiences, which was really cool. And I really felt like I was over the initial mean, hateful comments about becoming a mom. The comments were how unwanted, how undesired, how like people were like so gross. Like, I was just baffled by some of the comments because everybody has been there before. If you're alive on earth, you came from somewhere. Fast forward, TikTok comes along during the pandemic. So this is the part that has taken me longer to get over. And there's kind of two parts to this, which I'm grateful for. So there was a viral video on TikTok in 2020 during the BLM movement of some girl like taking a picture in front of a random store that had been rioted during the riots. Some girl tagged that it was me, was not me, did not look like me, did not look like Darian, but claimed it was me. I got within minutes, and I'm so grateful I was by my phone for this and like it wasn't off in a way, because that would have been catastrophic. Within minutes, I had thousands of death threats, of hate threats. They went to every platform. It started on TikTok. They went to Instagram. They went to YouTube. They were on my TikTok. They were commenting on past posts. There was such an influx of hate. I deleted every single sign of my family and of Vinny off of the internet that I could as possible. Like, I was deleting every story highlight. I was deleting so many things. And that was like my first sign and awakening of, okay, let me not post my son on social media. Like, I was scared. I was scared somebody would know where I lived. I was scared, like, these were horrible comments, horrible messages, death threats, like, not good. Thousands constantly popping up. Like, my phone, this is back when I had notifications, I was like, beep, 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 and I was like, what is going on? TikTok, spammed. YouTube, spammed. Instagram, spam. It was insane. I was so scared, especially because Darian's working in the hospital. I'm like, what if somebody knows him? Like, this was such a scary time. I reached out to the girl and she finally replied and was like, okay, like, I'm so sorry, I'll delete it. And I'm like, you have no clue what you have just done. And what's insane is people also commented that it was Lily Sabri, which it was not. She like lives in Dubai or something. And so I had to then back her, and she was like voice memoing me like, oh my gosh, what's going on? People are saying this is me. Like, this was wild. Like, people were trying to cancel people left and right. I was like, this is like literally, this is wild. So that was my first kind of like red flag. So I stopped sharing Vinny as much, which honestly that kind of hurt because I loved sharing Vinny and I was upset. Like, I'd have Vinny cam every day and I loved it. So I kind of like took a back seat, stopped sharing him, and that really scared me. And that's why you don't really see him too much on my social medias. I literally want to share Vinny all the time because he is in every way my entire life and world. And so it's hard to find a balance of how to share him, how not to share him, what I feel comfortable with. And after that experience, like, kind of scared some sense into me of like, what if somebody recognizes him? What if somebody goes to his school? You don't know in this world anymore. So people on social media legit don't know that I have a family, because I'm not posting them all the time. So that's another issue. And that's where we come to this last issue is I had this complex, okay, so I was sharing Vinny and then I stopped. And then all of a sudden, people on TikTok, not Instagram, but they were like, you have a family, like anytime I mentioned them. And they were like really mean and negative about it. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, it was this weird thing. So then I was like, should I start sharing my family? Should I not share my family? There is so much in my brain that is jumbled, and I just like don't know what to do anymore. Like, people were like, oh yeah, you don't give off mom vibes at all. You don't even seem like a mom. And I'm like, I don't know if that's like is that a backhanded compliment? Like, are you dissing moms? I don't know. I started to like, all these weird comments came up, and then somehow I got on the anti-kid talk. And it was for like 2 weeks straight. I didn't engage in these. I always like swept past them. Why was that? What was filling my feed? I don't know. But low-key in the back of my mind, I was reminded to the first time I had it of all those negative comments of you're washed up, you're worth nothing. Once you become a mom, like, you're disgusting, you're wasted. And then there's all of these like stories about wives whose husbands leave them after having kids because they're washed up or they pay too much attention to the kids. All of this stuff, and then all of the like anti-kid talk was everyone bashing kids, everyone like saying how annoyed they were at kids, people making fun of moms, people making fun of dads, like people attacking families. And I could not, like, every single video I was like not interested, like, get this out of my head. Like, this is not what I need to be dealing with right now, because it's pulling back that old insecurity where I know this isn't true, but I was made to believe it about myself at some point in time, that once I have a kid, I'm washed up, I'm worthless, I'm worth nothing, I'm throwing away my life, I'm throwing away my career. That was thrown in my face so much that I believed that for a little bit. And so to have this now TikTok like reinforce that years later and just like kind of bash me, it got me in such a bad headspace. And for a while, I felt like I needed to hide my family. Not only did I feel like I needed to hide them because of the death threats, but now I'm like, oh, this isn't acceptable. Like, people don't like parents. People hate kids. Like, what's going on? And I was like searching, like fearlessly, I was searching like, where are good examples of families? Like, who can I follow that have families? And I'm like, wow, everybody in the fitness space, like most people in the fitness space, are just like single girls who have so much time to do whatever they want. And I literally felt so alone and so isolated because I'm like trying to find other people who I can relate to, other people who can like validate me, other people who I can just like talk to and have a commonality in. And I just felt so isolated as this like mom who was trying to do social media and fitness, and I love that. I love both. I've worked very hard to balance both. I bend over backwards so I can do both. I literally feel like I have sacrificed so much to get where I am, and I know people are going to be in the comments making fun of me, and I don't freaking care anymore. I really don't. I woke up at 4 a.m. so that I could work before Vinny woke up. When he woke up, 100% on him. I would only work again during his nap, and then I would stay up late and work after he would go to sleep. Luckily, Darian is in grad school, so we'd both kind of do our work together. Sometimes we would take breaks, but I had to work so hard to make both work. Every day I woke up with a fire and a drive to prove everybody wrong and to feel like I still belonged in this space as a mom, because I felt so discredited. I felt so worthless for choosing to be a mom. Like, I remember getting job interviews after college, and I remember someone was mentoring me, like, if they ask about if you're pregnant or if you're gonna be pregnant or if you're gonna start a family soon, those are illegal questions. You can't ask those. And I'm like, why? And we had this whole conversation about how, you know, you can't work and be a mom. Companies don't like it when girls take break to have kids because then it sets them back, and that's why it's harder for women to get further in their career because they decide to have families. And like, I don't know why I feel like it's so looked down on. Like, I don't know if this just happened to be like everything that was consuming me for a while. I worked so hard the first couple years to get back to where I am now because I wanted to prove everybody wrong. And like, low-key, I'm like, shame on me for even caring. Shame on me for giving anybody else more power over me. Shame on me for dwelling on those thoughts. I'm so angry for my younger self doing that. And I needed to share this because if you ever give anyone else the power over you, their thoughts, their mean comments, anything, you're in high school, you're in college, people are just mean to you, don't give them the satisfaction or power to have it affect, change you as a person. I felt like I needed to change. I felt like I needed to not share that I was a mom. I felt like I needed to not be that because that wasn't okay. It wasn't accepted in the fitness space. I feel like lifestyle influencers, like, they get it, like it's moms and moms are sharing that, but like specifically in the fitness space, it's just not represented. Maybe it's just a representation issue, but I literally, it has burned me and I felt so alone. Comparison is the thief of joy, and it's so true because I'd look at everybody else and I'm like, oh, everybody's just, you know, cruising along, and I'm over here trying to keep up, trying to balance being a mom, literally something that I love and I want to do. Why can't I have both? And I didn't feel like I could have both. I just hadn't seen it. And I feel like, I hate crying voice. I feel like a lot of things you have to see it in order to believe it. So I was just like searching, looking for anybody else out there who was also a mom in the fitness space. And there's a couple, and I feel like they are my saviors and I've looked up to them. And it's been so nice to have other examples out there to like prove that I can do it. I'm telling you, you see how many comments messed up my mental health? So bad, so bad. I feel such a burning passion after I opened up about this on the podcast a little while ago. The influx of messages that I had that other moms just feel so alone. They don't feel included, especially in health and fitness things. Like, once you become a mom, you're just kind of pushed to the side and irrelevant. So when I started getting that kind of feedback, I realized how important it is to keep showing up, because there's so many times I wanted to give up. But after I hear from all of you and other moms, even at the UK event, like, someone came up to me and they're like, moms are not talked about, moms are not represented in the fitness space enough. I really don't feel like we are. It really has hurt me, and I'm so glad I can talk about this and open up about this and be able to be some kind of example. Why am I crying this whole video? Because it's emotional. These are feelings I've had for so long, and I feel like talking about them, I can just shed them and move on. And working with like the best brands, Gymshark and Beam, to just be told and commented on by society, directly or indirectly, that once you become a mom, pretty much you mean nothing. To then be able to work with my 2 dream brands. I'm now getting emotional because I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm literally gonna cry this whole video. I just feel like I've been able to show that I'm not gonna make it through this. Just stop it. Stop it. Everything means so much more to me because I'm able to do both. Because I'm able to be a mom and also have a career and dreams that I love. And I'm so grateful to Darian for supporting me through every single thing and also being able to follow his dreams, and we're able to support each other and raise a family. It is a dream. I am so grateful for it. I am so grateful for Gymshark believing in me. If you watch the UK vlog, you know how much that meant to me, to be able to be included and to be able to be supported by a brand that has my back, by a brand like Gymshark, and them knowing that I am a mom, but still even asking and inviting me on these trips, even though they know that it's really hard for me to either have to leave Vinny or to bring him to some of these, or just they're so accommodating and kind to my schedule when I know it looks a lot different than every other athlete out there. And Beam as well, they're so accommodating and kind and inclusive. I really felt like an outcast in this space, which seems so silly and ridiculous to say, but I just want to let you know, if you feel like an outcast, there is space for you. You are welcome here. You don't have to look a certain way. You don't have to act a certain way. Just showing up as you is enough. And I feel like that's why, especially on my podcast, I always drill home that you belong here just as much as anyone else. You really do. You can do both, and it's going to be okay. And I know that pregnancy is really scary for a lot. I still get questions and DMs about that all the time. And it's a scary but so exciting and confusing time. There's so many hormones. There's so many things to be excited about. And motherhood is such a work, but such a beautiful part of life. It is my favorite part of life. And like, there is hope on the horizon. I don't ever want you to feel like you need to give up on your hopes and your dreams or your goals, even when you become a mom. You are still an individual, and you are still just as worthy as everybody else. You still need to take care of yourself. You need to practice self-care and self-love. Be kind and courteous to yourself. And I feel like now that I can talk about this and have been able to share this, it is like in my past. And I feel like that's always such a big step when you're able to talk about things, because that means like, oh, like it's done. It's over with. I don't have to hold on to those feelings of shame, of feeling like I don't belong, not feeling included, worry or fear, judgment. There's a lot of like mom judgment too about things I would do, and oh, you need to raise Vinny this way. Like, I'm keeping him out of it, and I feel so good about that. I want to include him whenever I feel comfortable. So if that's 10 times a week one time, or if that's no times a week another time, like whatever I feel comfortable with, I'm making those shots for me and my family. I am like feeling strong enough now to take any of that criticism on and to push myself again in a new way and to keep showing up. A lot of times it gets hard in my brain, you know, but sometimes you just need to rest, take a step back, have a good pep talk from Darian. And I think being able to like move on and being unapologetic with who I am, with my family, kind of setting like a boundary, a limit now of, you know, being a mom, of, you know, don't expect to see Vinny, but please know I have Vinny and he's my entire life and world. Anytime the camera is not on or I'm not working, I am with him 100%. Like, it's so weird. I feel like I'm almost living a double life. Right now, I just tucked him into his bed. We got snuggles, we got kisses, we read a book, like, and I just wanted to share this so that you know you are welcome. You deserve to be on this fitness journey, no matter what you look like, no matter what your background is, no matter what. You belong here. I need you to know that. I need you to feel that way, because I don't want you to miss out on life because you just don't feel good enough. Yeah, I finally stopped crying, so that's good. We're probably all happy about that. Thank you for letting me share my story. I don't even care if anyone has anything mean to say anymore. Motherhood is wild. There's a million different opinions. People hate kids, whatever, and that's not my problem. And try to find your tribe and your community that's going to support you and uplift you. In-person relationships, those mean so much more. And most of you guys, pretty much everybody, is absolutely fantastic and amazing, and I love you, and thank you so much for your love and support. That's all for today. I'll probably do a podcast episode on this as well and do a Q&A. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!